You are now listening to or watching the It Takes All Kinds podcast.
Yeah, and if you aren't, you can head over to Apple Podcasts or Spotify and listen to us now. Or head on over to Drib on YouTube and watch the video version as well.
And if you'd like to stay up to date on when we're releasing a new episode or any other fun information about the podcast, you can give us a follow on Instagram at It Takes All Kinds Podcast and on Twitter at ITAC Podcast. That's ITAK Podcast.
Without saying much else, we hope you enjoy this episode. Cowboy down the hall from us.
Just need to be a little shorter. And then it would have fit nice and snug.
Would have fit perfectly. Happy Valentine's Day to all those who celebrate.
Gavin, I just want to say you're my Valentine.
Oh, thanks, buddy. You know what I did today? I went to class. That's what I did. That was funny because my professor today was like, she's like, Happy Valentine's Day. She's like, I hope this is not the only thing you are doing today. I was like
it this for me.
Yeah. Like I was like, yeah, this is definitely not the only thing I have going for me today.
Yeah, I have so many plans for tonight.
Yep. A loner like me. Yep, a loner like me having plans on Valentine's Day.
Yep,
you wish.
Yeah,
I wish.
Mr. Basic Popular.
Yeah. Mr. Popular Loner.
Mr. Popular Loner over here.
Welcome to the It Takes All Kinds podcast.
That's pretty good too.
We're celebrating episode 154. 154.
That's right.
154. So we got.
It's Valentine's Day.
It's Valentine's Day, and so that means 2 days from now is February 16th.
We're recording this on a Wednesday.
It's a late one. We had a doubleheader. Doubleheader basketball game last night, so that went long.
Yeah, we did.
Went a little long.
Went a little bit long.
Let's see how long we can go next episode before I start doing a Donald Trump impression, because I think for the last 4 weeks I've done it within the first 5 minutes or so.
I would say it's either me or you, but me doing it triggers you doing it.
Yeah, but you didn't do it this time. You didn't do it.
But sometimes I will, and then it'll immediately.
You saw a video of him doing the dancing in front of the marching band.
Of course I did. Yeah. Someone was like, "I really can't tell if this is AI created or not."
No, it's literally one of the weirdest shit. And they all have water bottles. Anyway, Carson, what we got in the docket today?
Well, do you want to know what I did for Valentine's Day?
Yeah, Carson, what did you do for Valentine's Day?
I worked out.
I did my wife.
Pictures. I did my wife.
You did pictures?
My wife. I took pictures
of
clothing.
Okay.
To sell.
Yep.
And that was about it.
You're selling your body like that?
I am. I'm trying to, just like Rachel Dolezal is did.
Yeah.
Before she got fired. Rest in peace.
She was going by a different name, which is even crazier.
Yeah.
In Arizona.
Wow. What a place down there. This
desert.
week, though, Gavin, I'm so glad you asked.
Oh, yeah. Did I mention these shoes also have turnstile on the...
Gavin is kitted out in the brand new turnstile
Converse.
Do you know what the model of it?
No, I don't.
Converse 88s, in collaboration with the band Turnstile. You might know them from their hardcore songs and albums and Grammy winning. Didn't they win?
Yeah, I think they won some Grammys.
Grammy winning. Wow, you're just giving away for free. You make me pay for that kind of shit.
You've made that joke before.
I know. I mean, it's not a joke, but
I mean. What else we got?
Anyways, yeah, well, what else we got? I haven't said anything yet. I took a very fun trip this weekend I want to talk a little bit about, which will lead us into a super special surprise taste test that Gavin does not know about. Then we're going to be talking about the Super Bowl, because that just happened over the weekend. And then we're also going to be talking about the drama going on with the new MLB baseball uniforms, or is it just the Philly Fanatics uniforms?
No,
because you wrote down Fanatics. Is that the brand?
That's a brand.
Oh, okay. I was thinking
Fanatics would be PH.
Oh shit.
The Philly Fanatics.
Whoops. And then finally, the clip that we missed last week, which is my fault, is the Larry David smothering Elmo. It's old news by now, but it's still fun because I haven't really watched the full clip anyways, or seen the apologies. So.
Yeah.
I kind of just saw it in passing, like I do most things.
I think I'm also meant to put the I think I put this is a clip on there, but he also went late night with Seth Meyers later that night too.
Oh, and apologize.
Yeah.
Again.
No, he played a dirty, devious little character, that man.
Oh. And then a Nextdoor drama about druggies.
What else is
Kinda.
out there?
I mean, it's not really, we don't even really know if this person's a druggie. They're just saying that. And then Whatcha Listening To, of course.
Oh, that one got him to turn it down.
We got some fun stuff happening today. Let's get into it. Gavin, what do you have going on that you wanted to talk about? You posted something, and I'm very excited to hear about it because you seem excited. And I get excited when you get excited.
Yeah, so you remember that book I told you about I read? Where the guy like travels through time or like different realities where he gets replaced by himself.
And then I was like, is it a movie?
Yeah. Well, this is going to be a TV show on Apple TV.
Okay. Ooh, nice.
And the author said, I wrote the book, I wrote the show. The show is better. See you May 8th.
Wow, even he thinks the show is better.
Yeah.
Now, has he written shows before?
I don't think so.
What's his name?
Blake Crouch.
Blake Crouch?
Yeah.
That sounds like a fake name.
It does, but it might be a pen name, but who knows?
Penn and Teller name.
Yeah, uh-huh. But he...
This is very exciting.
Yeah, so it's like a 20-second teaser trailer, so you can go look it up if you want. But yeah, I was really excited when I saw that. It was like literally a dream come true because I was like, this book is so good.
Is the book like...
The book is only
recent? Like new?
No, I think the book is within the last 10 years. I think it might be 2015.
Wow, that's weird. I feel like shit like that happens to me all the time where like I'll get into like a band or I'll get into something and then I'm like,
2016.
Wow, okay. I was like, wow, I really wish this was a movie or like if it's a band, I'm like, wow, I wish this band still made music. And like right when I get into them is when they're like, we're making new music again.
Yeah.
Or like you said, it's like I just read this book that's old, but they just announced it's gonna be a show.
Right.
Like it's just so weird how that shit works out. But that's fucking awesome.
Yeah, I'm really excited.
Especially with Apple TV.
And
I mean,
think
that's a big deal.
They also have some other sci-fi shows that are based on books too. But they have some big name actors in this series too.
Oh yeah, I want to know who. Because I mean, Apple TV, I don't think they've had anything miss yet. Like I don't think there's anything that they've done that's like been like a flop.
No, not really.
Because like that's kind of how Netflix was.
Maybe not.
At one point.
Maybe not. Maybe not. I thought maybe they did.
Who's that guy?
Which one? This one? Joel Edgerton? You know
he's
him?
probably been in stuff. Click on his name. See what else he's been in.
He's been in The Gift, Bright, The Stranger.
Okay.
Red Sparrow, It Comes at Night.
Oh,
Zero Dark 30.
It Comes at Night. That's why I know his name. I just watched It Comes at Night.
Yeah.
He's the stepdad.
Yeah, and
he's Australian.
Yeah, he's
because he plays an American
character.
really well.
He's playing the main character.
Whoa, that's sick. Okay, he was great.
And
I didn't
Jennifer
really
Connelly.
I know Jennifer Connelly too.
Who was in Requiem for a Dream, Top Gun.
Yeah, still never seen that movie, but
she was in the 2003 Hulk.
Okay, nice.
She was in the 1986 Labyrinth.
Haven't seen it. No, really want to see it.
That is a really weird film.
I've heard David Bowie's dick is in it.
Yeah. The Day the Earth Stood Still. I watched that in chemistry class.
Maybe I've seen it. I don't know. That is a big name. You're right.
Yeah,
well, Jennifer Connelly's a big name. Joel Edgerton. Less so, but
yeah. And then Alice Braga.
We'll definitely know who he is.
She was in I Am Legend, Predators.
Okay.
Elysium. She was in that. Deo Okinye.
I think I know.
He was in
he looks familiar.
Hypnotic, Run Sweetheart, Caveman, Rise, Emperor, Good Kids.
Okay.
And Amanda Brugel.
Yeah, this sounds like a great show.
So
I don't have Apple TV, but maybe this will.
I have Apple TV, so I can add you to the family plan, I guess. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
To watch it. Well, that's very exciting.
Yeah.
Because we talked about that on the show.
Yeah, that was like basically my whole episode there.
Yeah, we did like a long thing about it.
Because I was in COVID. We had COVID. It was virtual because I had COVID, so I read that book.
Oh yeah, we did talk about it on that one.
So keep your eye out.
Cool stuff. I'm excited.
Sent it over to Zach, and I was like, bro, I am so excited for this.
Bro.
And so I just said, yep. It happens.
I saw that whenever you put it. We have a Google Doc, in case you don't know. In case you guys aren't on it, we'll send it out to you if you want to get on our Google Doc. You can't edit it, but you can see us add stuff where we put stuff throughout the week that we want to talk about. And when I saw that...
Put stuff in the comments for us to talk about.
Yeah, guys, tell us what we should talk about. We're running out of ideas. And these episodes aren't long enough.
Exactly.
I saw that. I just saw a Twitter link with you saying yep, and I was like, oh, this is gonna be something bad, isn't it? And then last night when I checked, I was like, I don't think this is bad, but I
No.
don't know.
I was really
So-
excited when I saw that though.
That is exciting.
Yeah, I don't know where I saw it, but I was like,
Glad you did.
oh, you know what it was? It was a shoot, Gizmodo
Wow, that's a
article, and it was like, here are some really good sci-fi books, and then put Dark Matter, and then they're like, the show's coming out in May, and I was like, the show?
name. The show.
Yeah. So, anywho,
Cool. Well, if you don't mind me,
isn't
Gavin.
that cool or what?
Is that cool or what? Okay, guys, is that
I
cool
mean,
or
really.
what?
Really?
Okay.
I mean, what are the odds I read that in the last year and a
What
half?
are the odds? of
I
that
mean,
happening?
seriously.
That's what I'm saying, dude.
So yeah.
Well, if you don't mind, I have a little story time to share with you and to the audience.
Yeah.
And it's very sad. No, it's actually not sad at all. It's very exciting. This past kind of weekend, I guess I would say past couple days, I went on a little trip up to Chicago from St. Louis.
In more than one way.
Oh, yes. I was popping psilocybin gummies the whole time.
Whole way there.
Oof, that would have been
an
absolute nightmare.
way there.
I took a little trip up to Chicago.
Right.
Took the Amtrak train, which we'll talk about in a minute. But I went up there because I was invited by my friend Austin Peters, who is a director at Audio Tree.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe you guys know what Audio Tree is. Maybe you don't. My kind of hunch is that if people are like super into music and like kind of indie or hardcore kind of bands,
Underground shit.
yes.
We could go underground.
But there's some
Below
stuff that like people would
mainstream.
know, and there is mainstream stuff. But if you're into that kind of stuff, you might know what Audio Tree is because you've probably seen their videos on YouTube. But if you don't, I still think that probably people have seen an Audio Tree video without just
for
like
sure.
making that note of, oh, that was Audio Tree that put that
Yeah.
out. And in case you don't know what they are, they're a company that will film live sets of bands.
Mhm.
Most notably, they will bring in bands into their studio, which is a really nice studio, a really cool setup, and record them with nice cameras, have someone mixing it, and do a live session of them playing. And then also mix in an interview along with it.
It does sound live too. It's not like not like
Yeah.
a recording studio. It's like
exactly.
a live recording studio. It's
It's
different.
It's live, but it still sounds really good. But you
Right.
can tell it's like
Audio Tree.
happening and everybody's in the same room while
Mm-hmm.
it's happening, which is super cool. I mean, that's my shit. I love live stuff is my favorite at this point. Like, honestly, I will listen to live records more than I do a professionally recorded one, just because I love that sound. But that's in case you don't know who they are. I'm sure you've seen it. If you haven't, I would really be surprised if you haven't, because they've done ones with I'm gonna fuck up her name. I believe it's Julian Baker, who's in
Yeah. Boy Genius.
Boy Genius. They did one with her a long time ago.
They did my favorite band, Van Sire.
They did do Van Sire.
They did Hot Flash Heat Wave.
Yes.
That's another like indie band I like.
Yeah, a lot of indie, not even a ton of hardcore. It's been a lot of hardcore recently because of my friend Austin. But yeah, so anyways, that's who Audio Tree is.
And their set at Audio Tree is awesome.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I
Very
want
well
to
done.
watch some more of those. Did you know who they were before I like mentioned them to you, or did you? Okay,
No, I knew about them.
okay. I didn't know if you did or not.
100%.
But I became friends with Austin back in 2022 whenever we did our office hour show in Chicago, because Audio Tree supplied their cameras and came and filmed the live office hours show, but because they were filming and recording the Tim's show that night at the Vic. And so I think Austin was in charge of directing the office hour show. So we met him there and like kind of talked to him a little bit, and then mostly talked to him before Tim's show at the Vic.
Mhm.
And then that's when him and I like started talking about music, and like we were both had very similar music interest, and he has a really cool like instrumental, I would say like metalcore band, which is really good. And so we just kind of, similar music interest, and then kind of remained like friends like on Instagram from there. And I like occasionally post songs on my Instagram story of just stuff that I'm listening to in case anybody wants to listen to it, or it's just like I really want to put it out there. I don't know. It's just like to get it out somewhere else, you know, in case somebody else wants to hear it or whatever. Because that's what I like to do is I like when people post songs and I'm like, oh, that's great. I want to listen to that. Not that I think
whenever anybody else like posts stuff, whenever I post stuff, Carson's like, I'll ask him about it. And I'll be like, Carson, you listen to that song I posted? And he's like, no.
Yeah, that's true. I listen to everybody else's suggestions,
but mine,
but Gavin's.
Yeah, because I'm gonna give him a recommendation this week.
Oh, okay.
I'm just kidding. I mean, that's
I won't listen to it. So
okay.
But anyways,
I'll make you listen to it.
So I'd posted some stuff, and he would occasionally like comment on it, like I didn't know.
He's like, this is the shittiest thing I've ever heard.
He's like, this sucks, or no, he would just be like, wow, I didn't know anybody was like into that kind of stuff. Like that's super cool, whatever.
You're such a weirdo.
You're so fucking weird and annoying.
Right.
Him to me, not me to him, obviously. Yeah. But yeah, so anyways, he was like, you know, sometime, you know, when you're back in Chicago again, let me know. You can check out the Audio Tree studio, which I was like, a fucking chorus. I would love to do that. Like, I've been a fan. I didn't mention this yet, but I've been a fan of Audio Tree since I was like 13, 14, like 10 years ago. Just like because there's weird bands that I liked, mostly because of my brother Logan. Rest in peace. I always point up because he lives 2 floors above me. But it does seem like I'm pointing up there like he's dead. He's very much still alive. So it would just like bands that I would like, and I would like want to look up live sessions of them. Could never find them anywhere, or it would be like a 144p, you know, BlackBerry phone recording. And then it would be Audio Tree, this beautifully shot live set. And I just like got super into them because of that. And then I think at some point found out they were in Chicago, and I was like, wow, that's so cool. Whatever. So it was so awesome when I found out we were going to be able to work with them. And then now I'm, you know, friends with him. And then he's like, you know, if you ever want to come check it out. And I was like, yeah, like as soon as have a chance to get back to Chicago.
I found it. So
he knew I was into this band Thornhill because I'd posted an old Thornhill song on my story. And that's
how you know you're a real OG.
That's how I know I'm a real OG. So shout out to me.
Shout out.
And he was like, that's so cool that you're into that band. Like that's an old song, like it's a deep cut, whatever, yada, yada. And then a couple weeks ago, I think literally 2 weeks ago, which seems crazy, we were talking about something else. And then he's like, oh, by the way, do you want to come out to Chicago and see Thornhill play their live set at Audio Tree? And I was like, I feel like this might be a joke.
Yeah. But I was like, are you kidding?
Yeah. Cause I was like,
are you kidding me?
I was like, I'm like, yeah, like, are you serious? Is this a real offer? And he's like, absolutely. And I was just like, okay, well, that's just like crazy nice for you to invite me out. Like, that's amazing. And so I was like, you know, he was like, it's not confirmed yet. Let me make sure when they, you know, sign their stuff that I'll let you know then. And I was like, absolutely. I won't book anything until then. So Friday, literally this past Friday, he was like, it's confirmed. I was like, awesome. That was the shortest turnaround time of me not knowing I'm going somewhere to, okay, I'm for sure going. Let me book a hotel. Let me book my train, and did it all, you know, pretty cheaply too. I think
it's crazy because Carson threw out all of his plans with Soulard, Mardi Gras. Yeah. He was going to have the Super Bowl party here. He threw it all out. He told us all. And he's like, fuck you guys. I'm going to Chicago to go watch this, I don't know, band, I guess.
This nameless
band at this nameless studio.
Yeah, so
no aura.
Weird. But so yeah, I booked it all. The set was on Monday. I went up on Sunday. And yeah, so Monday I got up and headed up to Wicker Park, which is where their studio is.
Oh, we were over there.
Yeah, it like literally
the same
two
area.
blocks from where we
crazy.
were. Yeah. Which I would have, I mean, like their address is public.
Yeah.
But like I would have never expected it to be. Like it's literally like there's houses across the street.
Right.
And on the same street.
Right. It's by that CVS that was really cool. That closed.
Yeah, nearby it. I think it's a little bit more north or something. Anyways.
Yeah.
But got to take a little, you know, a quick tour of the studio, which is really cool. And just like seeing the place where they record the live sessions in person was like, this is so weird. And like, what the hell am I doing in here? And then,
was it like being up at the stage on, at the pageant?
Yeah, for sure.
Where it was like, whoa.
Yeah, because being on stage at the pageant was like, this is like disorienting.
Yeah.
Why am I seeing this from this angle?
Yeah.
It was that feel another one I talked about, back in 2022 was whenever I went to the Office Hours studio at Tim's place for the first time.
Yeah.
And that was legit. Like, I feel like dizzy. Like, this is so weird.
Right.
But yeah, it was like that. It was like, I've been seeing this on a screen for so long and now I'm in it.
Right.
And it doesn't feel right.
It's like the Apple Vision Pro.
Exactly. I felt like I was in Apple Vision Pro with Tim Apple.
Right.
And
no, for sure.
So I got to see that. And then I got to hang out in the sound booth where they have two audio engineers, the main audio engineer, and then I'm assuming his assistant or the assistant. And then they, some of Thornhill's people were in there. And
they're Australian, right?
Yeah, they are. Yeah.
They are?
And then they had a person doing live switching because they have 4 camera people. And Austin was actually one of the
switchers.
Was one of the camera people.
Oh, wow.
He's like, I usually don't do the camera stuff, but he's
for
like,
this one, I don't want to talk to you, so I'm gonna go
right, exactly, because he abandoned me, which was fine. I mean, obviously, and I just hung out in the back, got to see them warm up and run a couple things just beforehand, and it's so crazy, man, because it's like I've obviously this is gonna sound like such a shitty, annoying thing to say, but I've been in the industry for a short little time.
Yeah, right.
But
you've peered behind the curtains a couple times.
I've seen behind the curtain and know how these operations go, and
so you're just kind of egging them on.
Yeah, I was egging them.
Yeah.
My expectation is you always find out that these things, not saying Audio Tree specifically, but these kind of live operations run a lot or a little bit sloppier than you would think they are.
Yeah.
Like, you think it's just like boom, 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 we're done. But it's more like, oh shit, this thing fucked up. I got to figure that out. And we're about to record what we can, or we got to do another take. Dude, it was like, because I expected, because I think they were running a little bit behind, and I was like, oh, okay, I'll probably be here for a while, which I didn't give a shit about.
Yeah.
I was fine.
Like, where do I
hanging out
have
there
to be?
Forever, right? But yeah, I got in there figuring some things out, running a couple things, doing a sound check for not that long at all. Did a couple run throughs, and they're like, okay, let's go. And then the person who does the interview, their name is Fingy. I'm pretty sure it's not their real name, but that's what they go by, is Fingy, because I believe they're an artist as well. Who does all the interviews, was like writing down some things, brought it in there, got set up. They're like, okay, like, we're going to go 3, 2, 1. We're going. They're recording. Fingy does the intro. The band plays some songs, and it's just like all the way through, no second takes, no cuts. It's just like 25 to 30 minutes straight through, and then they're done. No cuts. It was like flawless. And I was like, that's crazy. Like, that's just like, so like, they just have it down to such a song. Yeah. And I mean, like, they played 2 songs and that's just so they can come in and hear it and be like, okay, that sounds good. Okay, maybe turn up the this or that or whatever. But it was like that, and then there was like
no rehearsal with Fingy there. You know what I mean?
No, yeah, no interview rehearsal at all. Like, I'm sure Fingy was like, hey, I'm gonna, ask these questions. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Like, whatever, which probably happened before I even got there. But it was just like, it was so smooth. Like, they just have such a tight operation. It's like, and like, when I think of that, like, when I think of a tight operation, you think of like, oh, there's like tight ass people, like mean people, boss. Dude, like, everybody was so chill. Like, there were so many people talking in the sound booth as like the audio engineers, like, like tinkering things. And I was like, how is this guy hearing everything that's going on and everybody talking around him and not giving a shit? Like, I would be like, everybody shut the fuck up and get out of here.
Sounds like you belong there.
But he was like, it was just like he could tune everything out. Yeah. And just hear that. And I was like, that like blew my mind. And yeah, it was just amazing. And obviously their set was awesome. Another thing I forgot to mention is I'm a huge Thornhill
production designer.
No, I'm a huge Thornhill fan. Love their music. I would say more of a recent fan, or only over the past year. I had heard the Dark Pool album a couple years ago when it came out, but never really like grasped onto it. But I would say legitimately, they are one of my favorite bands right now. Yeah, like, for sure. I love Thornhill, and I cannot stop listening to them, even though they, like, they're their last record was in 2022.
Yeah.
They're so good. And it was amazing I've never seen them live because they're not playing St. Louis, and they're not playing Chicago until this weekend. So it's not like I could have seen them up there. But they were so good and they sounded amazing in person. And
I mean, that like literally feet away from you.
yeah, feet away from, I mean, like, behind a thick wall and glass that I could see them through, but like.
They didn't come into the audio at all? In the audio room? You didn't go out there?
No, I didn't go while they were playing. No.
No, I mean, like, did you ever meet them? I mean.
Honestly, I didn't. Like, I was kind of like, if I got to like talk
give them
to
a
them.
wave.
Yeah, like, but I like wanted to more kind of blend in, and I didn't want to make it about myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I felt like if I like tried to be like, "Hi, I'm Carson, nice to meet you," and then it's just like, I just wanted to be more like, they are doing a professional thing here.
I'm gonna do me.
I want to just act like I'm part of what they're doing.
Yeah.
Even though I'm not, and I've kind of
You got down the board and started like.
I go
like looking at all the buttons.
Yeah, they walk in and they look at me, and I just go, actually, you know what?
You like look, you like look, and they keep staring at you, and you're like,
oh yeah. Actually, I should probably do my job.
I need to get back to it.
I just didn't. I like, I was like, if an opportunity came up where I had a chance to,
it's not my pick.
Talk to them, or can I have a pick? Can I have your set list? Then that would have been cool. But it was just like, I didn't want to take any attention away from anybody else.
Right.
It's like, it's their thing, and I'm, I'm very gracious to be there, and it's like, I also don't want to like accidentally say something and then it's like on Austin.
Yeah.
That like, my idiot ass said some not that I would say anything stupid, but it's just like, I don't know. I just wanted to shut up and like
take it all
in.
Bask in it.
But yeah, it was amazing. I don't know when exactly that live session comes out. It's also, kind of hush hush about it, but it's publicly known, and I did get the okay to talk about it. I thought I was gonna have to be the Hollywood guy and come on here and be like, well, I actually can't talk about it. But yeah, I'm assuming, I would guess sometime around the summer it'll release. I can't wait. I will definitely be recommending that as a Whatcha Listening To that week. And I don't want to. I didn't get the clearance on this, and it'll probably be out. Well, not by the time this comes out, but I think I might. Sorry, let's get to an ad. I think they might have played a new song that's not out.
You're like, I don't recognize this.
That's what happened, and because that was one of their warm-up songs, and Austin came in, and I was like, "Is that a new song?" And he was like, "I think so," and I was like, "Ooh, exclusive."
Yeah, sure.
But I don't know. Maybe it's already out. I don't even know what I'm talking about. I don't know if there's anything new from them coming out, and I don't know. I didn't even hear anything. I had earplugs in the whole time.
He was worried about going deaf.
This is just what I heard.
From someone else. They signed it to me.
Yeah, they were like they had sign language, and I could have misinterpreted what they said. Yeah. So who knows? Yeah, that was awesome, and just like I said, it's so cool to like be friends with Austin. Yeah, because he's like, I mean, he's a director at Audio Tree, and it's like that's a company that I super respect and love what they do, and afterwards, him and I left and grabbed some lunch at a local spot and just talked about like
some pizza.
We talked about the biz, literally, and it was just like, it was really cool to be able to talk to somebody on that level,
right?
And it's like,
who does coordinate that?
Yeah, and like that, he has like respect for what I do too. You know what I mean? Like he's an Office Hours fan and a Tim and Eric, and like a Tim fan, and it was just like, it just felt so refreshing to have that, because it's just like, I always like, it's kind of like a little bit of imposter syndrome where it's just like, I don't want to say something and sound like an idiot. And it's like, I know I'm low on the totem pole, and I'm fine with that, because obviously that's just where you have to start. So it's like, I kind of just like expect to be kind of just like known as just like a lower down person right now. But yeah, it's just great. Austin's a super nice guy.
You're like, I don't belong here.
Yeah. And then I was like, everybody walk up to me and talk to me. I was just like, you don't have to talk to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, gosh.
It's okay.
I can't believe you even looked at me. Can't believe you even looked in my direction.
Can't believe you even looked over at me. I didn't even know you knew that I was here.
I'm basically invisible.
But huge shout out to Austin, because that's like,
that's
so overly nice
things.
of him to do that, to like offer that. Like, it's just like, I was there and I was just like, what am I doing here? Like, why? this is so crazy, and it's just so nice of him to do that. And it, like, I was telling Spencer that this morning, our friend Spencer,
Friend of the show.
friend of the show, that I was just like, it just made me, it was like inspiring in a way that I was like, man, if or when I'm in that position to like
Do that.
offer something like that, an experience like that to someone else, I want to do that.
Yeah.
And like, it was just out of the graciousness of his heart, like just to be like,
Yeah, dude,
come up and do this. Like, you know.
Yeah, you don't think you haven't done that already?
Maybe. I don't feel like I've given someone that kind of experience. That was crazy. Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I guess.
Yeah, like we had a guess.
I hear what you're saying.
Yeah.
And you've been you were very thankful of that. I guess I just.
You can meet some really cool pharmacists if you hang out with me.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
Some really cool.
Can I meet some celebrity pharmacists? Yeah, I just like, it's just like, I wish you would just remind me more of how thankful you are of what I do.
Right.
If you bring it up more, I would probably remember.
Right.
That,
No,
so.
for sure.
But yeah, shout out to him, and shout out to all the Audio Tree people who were just like, I'm sure he told them before that I was going to be there and hang out.
Fucking loser.
Because I was like, I didn't know what to expect, but like everybody was so fucking nice. And like like I was saying earlier, it's like, you kind of expect with these things that are so established, like
cut and dry.
Yeah, they're so established, they're so well known, professional, that I just expected there to be some kind of egos or some whatever. Nothing like that. Just the nicest people. I walk in, he's like, "This is Carson. He's gonna hang out." They're like, "Hey, Carson, nice to meet you." Hey,
yeah, that's
sound
cool.
engineer was
that's
like,
awesome.
an older guy was like super nice and funny, and I was just like, this is awesome. Like, this is so cool that it's like, you always hope that it's going to be a good place and good people. And then when it actually goes above and beyond that, you're like, oh, it's awesome.
I mean, maybe that's why there's so many bands that go there that do enjoy playing those shows.
I would think so.
Getting those recordings of their songs there.
Right.
Because it also is a different sound, but also just like in general, that it's just a nice place. They're hospitable.
Yeah.
And
well, especially now, the things they're doing now is like way outside of the box of like what other people are doing.
Right.
And that's like definitely taking them to another level, which is awesome. But yeah, so huge shout out to them. I love Audio Tree people a lot, and I was just so thankful to be there. But moving on beyond that, kind of, as we were walking out of the Audio Tree building, out of their offices, there's, without giving too much away, where their office is, like where they're editing and where their actual offices are, not where their studio is. It's like a public office space. There's other offices in this building.
Okay.
And as we were walking out, there was an office near where Audio Tree's office is. And it was like a smaller office because there's like different sizes. And there was a guy in there, and I saw like a bunch of like posters and stuff on, like, I think there's some records on his wall too that were like either gold records or something. And he was like talking on the phone. He came out and like talked to Austin for a second, and I was just kind of like, minding my own business. And and then whatever, like we walked away. I didn't like hear what they were talking about because it wasn't like eavesdropping or anything.
Right.
But when we were walking out of the building, he was like, that guy that I was just talking to, and I was like, yeah. He's like, that's the guy that composed the jingle for McDonald's I'm Loving It. And I was like, no fucking way. I was like, really? And he's like, yeah. He's like, he's also the one who composed the I Want to Be Like Mike song for the Gatorade commercials, for Michael Jordan's Gatorade commercials. And he's like composed like Disney's song. Like, I was just like, that's fucking bonkers. Because like never in a million years would I have thought to seen that guy.
Yeah.
And it's just like, that's just
shout
so
out to that
weird.
guy.
Yeah, shout out to that guy.
Congrats.
Yeah, that was just so bizarre to like be like, oh yeah, well now I can say I saw that guy. I didn't meet him, but I can say that I did.
So we got JT and the Audio Tree set up.
Yeah, they're coming in.
Yeah.
We got Michael Jordan.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that was great. And my trip was very interesting. I took a few days up there. I went up on Sunday.
Watched the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I went up on Sunday. I took the Amtrak train from St. Louis again. And man, that Amtrak station in Chicago is very interesting. And I don't want this to sound the wrong way, because I have, obviously I have no problem with unhoused people, or anything like that. No problem if people want to panhandle, or if I don't know if you can say that anymore or not. Oh, could you hit the camera when you get a chance? Really? I have no problem with that at all. So I don't want that to sound like I'm complaining about that. The only time I have a problem with it is when you are aggressive and you are like in my face, like being like a problem about it. Right. And this is the first time I've ever had that happen. Because
that was how you found out you had a problem with it.
That's how I found out I had a problem with it. Because I got off the train and it's like known that it's like panhandlers will go to a place where tourists are. Because the people of the city, they just ignore them or like, just be like, I don't have any money, get away from me or whatever. Because they know. And even like I think the panhandlers know who is a resident and who is a tourist.
Right.
And of course, I'm a tourist because I have suitcases with me. Yeah. And I'm trying to like figure out if I'm going to Uber or take a train. And man, it's just like the second you get up the escalator, they're like swarm you. And
we must have gotten
most of them were pretty nice. And most of them, and not to sound like a dick, because like I treat everybody like a human. I'm gonna treat them like a human. And if you were to come up to me and ask me for money, I'm gonna ignore you.
Yeah.
And that's what I do to them. It's not because I think they're not human or anything like that. It's just that if you are going to ask me for money, I'm going to ignore you and keep walking. And so that's what I did. I ignored two of these people. And then another one of them came up to me and was just like, Mom, I couldn't even really understand what he was saying, but he was just like, hey man, you got about? And I was just like, nah. Then I was just like back on my phone trying to figure something. He's like, no, I just want to ask you something. And I just like wasn't saying anything. And he was just like standing in front of me like, and then finally, like not even joking, like 2 minutes later, he finally walks away. And I was like, I know what you're doing. I'm not fucking stupid. Just walk away, please.
Yeah, please, leave me alone.
And it was the same thing when I left yesterday. It was like I was walking and they were just like, they would swarm you. And it's just like, that's when I have a problem with it. And it's just like, don't have a problem if you just ask and that's it, whatever. But it's just like when you are aggressive about it, like get out of my fucking face.
Yeah.
So
I get it.
It was annoying. I took the train a lot while I was up there. This is the first time I actually like used their like metro system, which is nice. It's not as nice as New York's. I think New York's is more accessible and easier to find. Also, I think Chicago's is a little bit safer, I guess I would say. There's more like actual attendees at the stations and stuff. And one of the things I noticed that I didn't notice before, and maybe it's just a known thing and I don't know, there seems to be a big alcohol problem in Chicago, like alcoholic problem, because like there were a lot of discarded bottles of liquor on the street, like more than I've ever seen anywhere else, and like cans of beer and cans of liquor or bottles of liquor on the train discarded and stuff. And
maybe it was from Mardi Gras.
Yeah, I don't think they do that out there.
The fuck?
And
Super Bowl. Maybe it was a Super Bowl. Maybe everybody was going out and partying.
It could have been. And I didn't even think about that too much I thought about that even before this happened. I got on the train. This was Monday on my way to Audio Tree. I sat down next to somebody on the train who was like on his phone doing something that I kind of slumped over. Like you can never, like, not that it matters. Like I'll sit next to, a person who I'm presuming is maybe unhoused. I don't give a shit. I'll sit next to whoever until you smell. And then if you smell, I'm going to probably move because I just don't want to smell you.
That's why Carson sits across the couch from me and not right next to me.
Yeah, because that's a problem.
Right.
But I sat next to this person and I was like, they're acting kind of funny, but I was like, well, whatever. I don't give a fuck as long as they don't talk to me or fuck with me. I don't give a shit. And
this is on the Chicago Metro.
Yeah. And about halfway into the ride, he slowly opens his backpack and pulls out, I could only see out of the corner of my eye, but what I'm presuming was a full bottle of vodka, and takes a long pull off of it and slowly screws it back on and puts it back in his bag. And I could smell it. I could smell like his like vodka burps.
The nail polish remover.
Mixed with like fucking Hot Pocket breath that was like he had the night before. And
it's crazy because that's what you smell like to me.
Yeah, no, it was probably what you were smelling, but like mixed with alcohol. Excuse me,
right.
That's enough. But yeah, that was just like, it was just sad. I mean, it was just like, oh, this is so fucking like depressing. As I'm going to go, as I'm like super excited.
Metro.
Yeah, as I'm like super excited to go do something, I just have this fucking depressed guy taking pulls of vodka.
Right.
So that happened. But yeah, I went up on Sunday and I watched the Super Bowl by myself, probably for the first time, which was weird. And I had a little.
This is the first year that he's ever watched football at all.
I've literally never heard of it until this year.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
He used to call it sports ball, and he would always say something like, "Go team!" Like I even know who's playing. He always says some shit like that.
I'd always come up to you and I would go over to you and I'd say, Gavin, what's the sport with the ball that's like an oval?
Right.
And you were like, get away from me, dude.
I'm like, no.
Don't ask me for money right now.
No.
You know I
Yeah,
hate people
like,
who. You know I hate panhandlers. That's
You
what
know
he
me.
said, and he hates women too. It's just the craziest part. To
All
me.
in one.
Can't even believe it. It's like they don't even really. Well, they kind of go hand in hand. I'm just kidding. That's all.
Go way off on a tangent on that. But
Speaking of, I want to talk about what Andrew Tate said recently.
So so the Super Bowl.
Super Bowl, yeah. Well, let's talk about the Super Bowl in a second because I want to wrap up the Chicago thing. We're gonna talk about the Super Bowl more in depth. Because I want to hear about Gavin's experience listening to it. He listened to a podcast of it.
Yeah,
with Kurt Wanker. But yeah, I went up there, watched that. That was fun. And on Monday night, which was the final night that I had there, I was gonna just get like Nando's or something, and then just like go back to my
fuck off, right?
And then fuck myself. I had such a funny thing I wanted to send you guys that I thought of right when I got there. I had a king size bed all to myself, humble brag. And I was just going to send you guys a picture of it and say, yeah, I'm fucking myself on this bed tonight. Or something just stupid like that.
Well, it's okay to jack off in hotel sheets.
It's okay to jack yourself off.
In hotel sheets.
Yeah, just leave it in there. They'll clean it up. There's a fucking maid that'll clean it.
That's what room service is for.
Yeah, I walked out and the maid was like, can I come in and clean your room? And I was like, yeah, I just there's some cum in the sheets.
Yeah, you might want to wash those a couple times.
Oh, make sure you take the sheets off. I threw a nasty load of ropes in there last night. They're still hot too.
I threw some nasty shit piles in there.
Well, what I usually do, because it's just easier to clean up in my opinion, is I actually open the pillow. Like I zip it open and I just do it in there. Cause then I don't have to see it. I don't want to touch that. That's disgusting.
I do my business in there, and then I call it a night.
And then I
sleep on it.
And I sleep on the pillow. Yeah. Well, of course.
The zipped one.
Yes, of course. It's still clean. I don't have to touch it. It's just in there.
Right.
Kind of warms it up. On the last night, by a suggestion from Austin, was that I should fuck the pillow. No. Was that
I should take a shit in the pillow.
Take a sheet in the pillow. Take a sheet in a pillow.
That I did.
Oh, no, I did after I had a cheeky bit of Nando's.
Yeah. Did you end up getting Nando's?
I didn't. I was going to, but then he was like, if you want something to do, you can go right off and fuck yourself.
You can go fuck your hotel pillow.
You can go fuck your pillow. And so I did.
That's what I did.
He was like, you should go up to, there's a bar in Uptown, which is like a little bit further north of Wicker Park. And it's one of the oldest jazz bars that's still around and still has jazz music every single night, literally every single night of the week. And he's like, it's really busy.
Ironic it's called a jazz bar. They should call it a jizz bar.
Right,
because that's all Carson was doing that night.
I brought the pillow. Made the band fuck it. We were very high.
We took turns.
We had methamphetamines. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And he was like, it's got a lot of history. And he's also like,
you can jack off there.
You can jack off there. They allow it. It's like, it's very interesting. And so I ended up going there that night. The music started at 8 p.m. and went till 12 a.m.
Wow.
Yeah. Every night it's like that. Different bands.
Same band every night.
Same band every night. Never gets old. They're a robotic band. They're all puppets.
Chuck E. Cheese.
Chucker Cheese. Chubby Checker Cheese.
Chubby Checker Cheese.
And so I went up there, and it's actually, it was, I almost said it was born. It first
Founded.
opened in like the early 1900s, like maybe even 1910 or 1907, I think.
After the Cubs won the World Series the last time.
Yeah. Wow. And then eventually in like the 20s or 30s or whenever that was.
Where Prohibition was.
Yeah, it was like pretty much ran by Al Capone. That was like one of his hangouts.
Okay.
Was at this bar. You're like, oh shit. Oh fuck. You get all nervous about Al Capone, who's been dead a long time. Oh, wait, really? Okay,
that
we should
Al
probably
Capone?
just
We talking about like that Al Capone?
we should probably just take this off the air.
You want to like wrap this up?
We should probably wrap this up.
That guy
But
who
it was
spent
one
time
of-
in Alcatraz, right?
Yeah, he's the one who escaped there. It was one of his hangouts and he like pretty much ran it.
It's crazy
And-
that you guys jacked off in the same spot.
We did.
That's the craziest
Well, it's
thing.
cool because they still have what I'm assuming. I don't know if it's
It's
the
like the
original.
fuckhole.
Yeah, I don't know if it's the original booths, but they have like they say which booth was his that he would sit in, and it was in the back corner, so he could keep an eye on both doors of who was coming in and out.
This sounds like some real, suburban white people shit.
Pretty much, and it was just super cool.
Sorry, Al
because
Capone. Sorry.
you walk in there and it's like crazy history. They haven't like updated anything. Like it's a shithole, but in like an endearing,
Right.
old like mobster way.
Yeah.
Super cool. They have a
You walked in
jukebox,
with your
Tommy gun.
Tommy gun,
Of course.
and your long pea coat,
Yeah, my pea coat,
your trench
my
coat,
top hat,
yeah, top hat.
and
He said, "I say,
say old chop. But apparently,
hey, what do you say we run this? What do you say we run this block? Hey."
I walked in smoking cigarettes. They're like, "Sir, you cannot smoke inside."
And then you switch to a cigar, and you're like, "Is this better?"
And then they say no, and then I pull out my Tommy gun.
Yeah.
And
Hey, let me
I did the place. And I did the place.
rattle
in.
them, boys.
Rattle them, boys. And so apparently they like behind the bar they still have the old trap door with like an elevator that like they would bring the booze up during Prohibition era.
Did you ride it?
No, yeah. No, they don't let you back there. And then down there in the basement, the mobsters also built tunnels like to escape, like if they needed
You
to.
learned all this in like the 4 hours you were there.
I read up on it.
Oh,
well, I
okay.
read up on it before I went.
Oh, okay. But they had tunnels.
But yeah, they have
See?
tunnels that you can't see because on their website it's
Well,
like
not see?
one of the FAQ not see. One of the FAQs is can you see the tunnels, and it says no. But they are apparently there.
But that's where they put the they chill the wine there.
the wine. And it's all cash only bar.
Really?
$10 cover charge.
Jesus.
Drinks were a little pricey.
Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Oh,
$10.
Jesus fucking Christ, I'm out. Al Capone and a $10 cover.
Fuck me.
But I got there at 7 thinking that like I was going to get turned away. I was just like, this place sounds like a poppin' joint. Because I even said to Austin, I was like, even on a Monday night? He's like, yeah. He's like, it's even crazy on a Monday. And I was like, shit. So I got there at 7 expecting to be turned away. I walk in. There's 2 other people in there. And I was like, oh no, what did I just do? Like, why am I here an
Would they
hour
still have
before
the-
the
did they-
music starts?
Did they still have the $10 cover charge?
Yeah.
Okay.
An hour before the music starts, I was like, fuck. I'm like, well, I can't leave. Like, what do I do? And I was just like, well, I'm just here. Like, what the fuck else am I gonna
I'll
do?
go
I
jack off, I
I took a
guess.
30-minute train here, so I got the pillow and I did what I needed to.
In Al Capone's booth. Did you
But-
sit in Al Capone's booth?
Did you shit in Al
Did you shit in Al Capone's booth?
Excuse me, monsieur. Did you shit in Al Capone's booth? We found a steaming pile.
Excuse me, monsieur.
Speaking of shits, their bathrooms have definitely never been updated.
What gave it away? Was it the octagon tile?
Was it the bullet hole that Al Capone left?
Was it the glory hole that Al Capone used to fuck people in?
Used to fuck the mobsters in.
Right. Hey, Shane, I'm putting my dick through the hole,
There's
Shane.
my duck through the hole.
This duck is gonna be bigger than an egg.
Oh yeah, baby, you're gonna suck this duck.
You're
Trying to sex, but autocorrect comes up,
Right.
and that's something Al Capone never had to deal with.
Yeah. I'll tell you what. He had
I'll
it.
say.
I'll tell you what.
I'll say
He had it made.
he did. He was a made man, and we love him.
Shane.
But the bathrooms, the original stage,
But the bathroom.
you guys had to see that.
Now
The-
get this.
The original stage is still there. It's behind the bar now. They don't use it anymore. It's really
What,
small.
Stage.
Wait, what? Okay, start over.
The
It's a
stage.
jazz bar. It was also a hangout. Frank Sinatra, Charlie Chaplin.
You're kidding.
No, I'm serious. They were all there.
You're kidding. Their bodies posted up there.
Is that cool or what?
Isn't that cool? Or
Yeah, their
what?
bodies are there. But a lot
Walt
of like
Disney.
famous people played there. Of course, their names I can't remember.
John
off
D.
the top of my head.
Rockefeller.
John D. Rockefeller was there.
Center.
Center for the New England Patriots.
Roger Goodell.
But their stage now, which I don't know how long it's been there. It's a bigger stage. It's in the back of the bar now. Is the bathrooms are right next to it. So you'll have someone playing right here and no joke right next to it, 2 bathroom doors. And it's like the bathroom door is like this wide and like not that tall. So I had to duck down to get into it.
Well, Al Capone,
Al Capone was so short.
Al Capone could just walk in.
Yeah, the Napoleon complex. But it was also like a hallway. Like you would, if you wanted to get to the stall and if there's 2 people at the urinal, you would have to wait because there's no way you're getting there. It was so small and it was like disgusting, and the only soap they had at the sink was a bar of soap.
No shot.
I'm serious, dude. It was so gross. I didn't wash my hands. I washed it with water, and I was like, "That's good enough. I'm not touching that bar." Is this Al Capone's bar of soap?
No way.
Soapy. But yeah. But then around 8:00, a lot of people filed in, and then like by the time I left at like 9:30, it was like, I would say like half capacity. But a great jazz band. It was just like a quartet. I think that has like a residency there every Monday night. Really good. 2 guitar players playing like a Rickenbacker, like
heavy as fuck.
John Lennon style guitars.
They're so heavy.
And it turns out that the guy whose quartet it is has a Beatles cover instrumental album. Because they ended up playing 2 Beatles songs while I was there. They probably would have played
What'd they play?
more. Let me look it
I
up
Want
real
You,
quick.
She's So Heavy.
No, it was older. It was older stuff.
Oh, we're talking like Hard Day's Night type stuff?
Yes.
Twist and Shout era?
No, a little later. Beatles, or Hard Day's Night. Yeah, Hard Day's Night, you're right. And it was, they played And I Love Her.
Yep.
And then they played like a Can't Buy Me Love like jam.
Yeah.
So they would like play the
Did
main
they sing though? Was there a singer?
Yeah. No.
No singer? No singer.
So they would play the main chorus, but then they would like solo jams. So it was, 2 guys on the Rickenbackers, and then one of them played pedal steel for a couple songs. A drummer who was really good, and then a guy playing the Hammond organ, and he was playing like bass notes, but then he was also playing the top keys for like solos.
Cool.
Really good, super good band. You would have loved it, I'm sure. And that was a great time. But during
Talk about La La Land.
But during it, the main guy was like, "Yeah, we won't be here next week because apparently they're filming a new Netflix special." And I was like, "Oh, that's weird. Like I didn't know that." And on their calendar it says like closed for filming next Monday. And then he's like, "Yeah," and then like apparently it's John Mulaney filming a Netflix comedy special at this like bar.
Oh,
and I was like, so I don't know how true that is, but I was like, he probably shouldn't have said that.
Yeah,
But I
that's
was
kind of
like,
classified
big
information.
name.
Yeah.
So if there's a new Netflix special with John Mulaney in it at the Green Mill.
Live from the Green Mill.
Live from the Green Mill, we got Al Capone.
Where Al
jacking
Capone used to
off,
jack off into a glory hole.
and we let him. But I thought that was funny because I was like, "That's."
Did you get the
super
opportunity
weird.
to suck off Al Capone?
I actually sucked off John Mulaney.
Wow.
He was there. He was getting ready.
Wow.
He was getting prepared. And I was like, "You ever seen Big Mouth?"
I do a crazy good SpongeBob impression.
Do you know who SpongeBob is?
You know what SpongeBob is?
Anyways, that was my trip. I'm sorry that went on definitely longer than I meant it to. Hopefully that was interesting enough for all of you. I thought it was fun.
I was
and
trying
funny.
to keep
Just
you
zone out.
entertaining.
I also noticed that like
You go on trips a lot more often than I do.
Yeah, I did notice that. I was like, Gavin hasn't left the house in a long time.
Yeah, I usually don't.
Not my problem. I noticed that I was on a train too many times because since yesterday I've had like vertigo or something where I'm just like,
You constantly feel like you're like bumping somewhere.
I've constantly feel like I'm like it's like seasickness is what it feels like.
Yeah, you get used to it, I bet.
I'm sure you do. I'm not. I was like, I feel woozy. I got, for the first time in a long time, I got legit car sick on the Uber ride home, the $50 Uber ride home from the train station.
Hey, man, I was in class, man.
Well, also my dad could have picked me up, but we didn't figure that out in time. And so I was like, whatever, I just want to get home. And then I was like, oh shit, I'm going to fucking vomit in this Uber right now. I didn't.
Were you talking to the
close.
Uber driver?
He talked to me a little bit at first. He was very nice, but like after that, I was like, I don't want to talk.
I'm going to fucking throw up.
I told him, I was like, man, I don't want to talk. was
Like,
also
don't
funny
fucking
'cause
talk to me.
he was playing fast jazz in his car the whole time. He's like,
I love that. I love that
it was
kind of jazz.
like almost like bordering on like Mario Kart music. It's like,
Yeah.
and he was driving fast too, man. He was like an older guy too, and I was like, I feel like I'm in Mario Kart. It was great. No, I loved it. I was like, I don't want any. I didn't even like put my headphones in or anything. I was like, I'm gonna listen to this.
Did you tell him? Did you ask him like, "How's your weekend? Have fun at Soulard?"
No, I don't start conversations with them. I don't with common folk. No.
Not with those guys. Not with those kinds of people.
Oh, with common folk? No, I don't start conversations.
I usually don't start those kind of conversations with service workers.
With service workers.
Yeah.
He asked me about. He's like, "Did you go to Chicago and take the train?" I was like, "Yeah." And he's like, "I keep threatening my wife that I'm gonna take her on a train
Fuck
to
yeah,
Chicago."
he was.
And I was like, "That's a weird way to put it, but sure." I didn't inquire anymore about what
You're
he
like,
meant by that.
Don't know what you meant by that, but all right, man.
All right, man. Sure. Threaten your wife. I don't care. See if I care.
He comes
You
out.
get along really well with my buddy. He hates women.
He hates women. All he does is talk about how much he hates them. He carries a knife around and only threatens women.
we're gonna talk
Just
about
like probably like your wife. Probably like you did to your
just
wife.
like Paula Abdul.
Right. Just like Al Capone used to do.
Yeah,
He had a switchblade. And he was
a good guy, I
He's a
heard.
good guy, I heard.
Didn't he die of like syphilis or something? I think he died of like an STD.
No, I thought he died from being crazy.
I think it
I'm
was
not kidding. That was
but
a
I think
real
it's
thing.
because of a
yeah, probably.
I think it was.
Yeah, syphilis. Yeah, it was probably
I
syphilis.
could be really wrong about that too.
You can take your finger off your face,
I'm
buddy.
doing a ventriloquist act right now, and I would like to keep it going where I don't move my mouth. I'm the new just done a jalapeno, spicy jalapeno. He can do it. It's fine if he does it. Okay. Anyways, I have a special taste test that I brought back from Chicago.
Malort,
Gavin, you're ruining my bit. I thought it would be funny if I hit it because I was like Prohibition era. So hopefully the camera will see this.
Oh my God. How deep is this couch? Holy fuck.
So I have it here in a bag. Oh, special taste test. Who knows what it is though? Wonder what it could be.
Malort. Oh my Lord.
This is something that Gavin has been wanting to do for a long time.
I've been wanting to do it for so long.
I have too. I'm not as excited about it.
Ever
but-
since Cow Chop would do it as a, ever since they would do it as a punishment for fucking everything, I was like, dude, I cannot wait to get my hands on this whenever I turn 21 and I don't drink underage.
Sorry.
So you did it at the bar?
So and I got a black bag. I put it under 2 bags just in case. And yes, Gavin, the special surprise taste test is of course Malort.
Oh, let's go. Jepson's Malort, baby.
If you don't know what Malort is, it's a
No one knows.
liqueur. I read up on about it. It was like made by a Swedish guy like back in 1910.
He said Hergendergen.
It was the Swedish chef.
He said
and
Hermagerd.
it's apparently a really bitter liquor that people describe as taking the bite out of an orange rind and drinking gasoline right after. That is no joke. That is how many people online have described it.
Isn't that
tasting
what
like.
like one of the food magazines described it as?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's only made in Chicago. You can only buy it in Chicago. That's not like a joke. That is legit. Because nobody else would want to buy it. And we'll do a Malort ASMR of us gagging on it. And yes.
Have you tried
it's
it?
like no. I have not. I've never tried it in my entire life. I bought it and brought it back here, and we will try it, and then it will sit on my table forever. And we'll get our friends to try it for sure.
Yeah.
But it's like a Chicago.
Some people like it.
Yeah, it's probably an acquired taste, just like Vegemite and stuff. Which I like Vegemite, so we'll see. I don't know if they compare at all. But,
No, but yeah, sure, man.
it's a Chicago thing, obviously, because it's only there. Every bar has it. It's like a tradition that you have to try it when you go to Chicago, and we never did, and we should have. But I guess all of us weren't 21 at that time, so.
Yeah, it would have been me and you going to the bars
And getting Malort.
and getting Malort.
So,
Oh my Lord.
It's a liqueur. I'll read the back. This is the OG too. This is the Jepson's. I don't know if anybody else makes it. Jepson's Malort has the aroma and full-bodied flavor of an unusual botanical. Its bitter taste is savored by two-fisted drinkers.
What?
That's literally what it says on the back.
All right.
But yeah, it's apparently like similar taste to absinthe,
Okay.
which I've never had.
That tastes like licorice.
So
Absinthe
I really
tastes
need
like
to
licorice.
Rinse my mouth out.
With a Dr. Pepper, naturally.
I'm really not. Can you start the recording over again? 'Cause I want to make sure we get this on camera. Oh, Jesus. Was it recording?
Yeah, it was.
It was still recording? Okay, good. I'm like legit nervous about this, man. I don't know why. Because I've been reading so much about it and heard of how god awful it is that I'm like not excited
Absinthe
for
was
it.
an experience.
I've never had absinthe. I have Everclear.
That felt like I was drunk and high at the same time.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
And that was
So we're
just
gonna
like
take a shot of it. I mean, we're going for it. I'm not gonna pussy out on it.
No pussy wagon here.
I also when I bought this. Oh, okay. Gavin hasn't had a drink all day, and he's been looking forward to it.
Oh, okay.
I also
Doesn't smell too bad.
I also thought of how insane it would be for that guy on the train to just if I looked over and he was drinking a bottle of Malort.
Jesus
Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ.
When I bought it, I went to this
When
was
I
Sunday
bought
night.
it.
This was Sunday night.
At the dough.
Before the Super Bowl. I was like, I'm gonna go get Portillo's for dinner. But before that, I want to stop by a liquor store and buy Malort. And so I was like, well, I guess I'll just have to bring the Malort into Portillo's. Like, I don't know what else to do. And luckily, they put that in that black bag. But I purchased it, and I was carrying I like brought the black bag of Malort into Portillo's, like ordered my food. And there was a bunch of cops in there, like a bunch that were ordering food. And I was like, I didn't really give a shit. It was in a black bag. I was like, they asked me, I was like, yeah, I bought this, whatever. Like, I don't know. I don't know if it really mattered. It just felt weird to like have a bottle of liquor in a bag. And then to make matters even worse, whenever I got my food, I was like, I had to carry all this shit back. And I had a shake and a drink. And I was just like, I had my big Reset hoodie on. Shout out Reset. And I was like, well, and then I just took the bottle in the bag and shoved it into my hoodie pocket. So then I just have this like big bottle like across my belly. And then I'm getting like condiments and stuff like while the cops are there. And they're like, I was like, it was funny.
They're literally just watching you like do this and they're like,
yeah, I mean, they probably were. They didn't say anything though. But like at the condiments table, there was like the condiments here. And then on both sides, there were 2 napkin holsters. And each cop was slowly getting napkins out, and I was waiting to get napkins, and I was just doing this. Like I felt like I was in a weird movie. And then finally one of them was like, oh, you want napkins? And I was like, yeah. And he like gave me a whole stack of them, like it was like money. And I was like, thanks. And then I took it, and I was like swinging with this bottle of Malort in my belly. So I thought that was funny. I'm just stalling now. Okay, here we go. I'll take the measuring glass one. You can take the Minnesota one. I'll do it to like there. Okay, yeah, that's probably good. I'll make sure mine's equal. Okay, man. Jesus fucking Christ.
yeah, baby.
I'm like I'm like legit scared.
I'm so excited. I've been waiting for so long for this, man.
All right. Here we go. I'm like
Smells
I'm
like
seriously
whiskey.
Scared. Malort.
Malort, down the hatch. No, yeah, it does. Yeah. There is that weird, like,
What the fuck? It wasn't at first. It was fine
Yeah.
at first, and then it's like tastes like I just ate a cigarette.
all right, man. Cool.
Okay. Oh, that aftertaste is bad.
Yeah, that's a bad aftertaste.
Honestly, really smooth going down
Yeah,
though.
that's
like
like-
super smooth,
yeah.
like kind of sweet, and then it's like,
Yeah.
oh,
It just burns.
Rubber.
Yeah. Smells like how rubber smells.
yeah. I don't feel like it burns that bad. It's just like this, like
Visceral.
I don't know. It's like just something like
I don't
took
even know how
over
to-
your whole tongue. Like
Yeah.
it's just bitter.
Yeah.
It's like a bitter burn.
Yeah.
Ooh. I mean, it's not that bad. I don't know. It's not terrible.
I think it's mainly
had
just because so
worse.
many people have. Yeah, I've had way worse. Dude, I've had vodka shots that are worse than
Yeah,
that.
true. Yeah, that aftertaste. Oh man, it sticks. It sticks around.
I would never. I do not advise drinking alcohol
At all.
at all. But Jepson's more. I'm not sure. That's sure, man.
Yeah, I expected more of a licorice taste.
I get the hype though. I guess people from Chicago are fucking freaks.
Has it gone away for you yet?
Nah, not now.
It hasn't gone away, man. It's
It's
still
getting
there.
there. It's getting there.
Oh. It's bad, but it's not like
Terrible.
I thought I was gonna like have to get up
Like,
and walk
yeah,
around
like
for
retch.
a minute. Yeah. Yeah, it was fine going down, but then it was like I got cigarette on my tongue. Like it legit feels like I just smoked a cigarette and it's still on my tongue and won't go away.
Yeah, it's just bitter.
Yeah, it's not good. It's fine. It'll be fun to get people to try it, but not
I
the
bet it
worst
goes
thing I've
good
ever
with
had.
Dr. Pepper.
With the Carly Rae Jepsen company.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't really know if there's anything you mix it with.
I don't think you can. That's just very much like a...
Yeah, I wouldn't want to.
What's the proof on that? Does it say?
It is. I thought it was like 35% alcohol, 70 proof.
Okay.
So not that high. It's higher, but it's not crazy high.
It's better. It's like, what, 35%? That's like 10 times more than beer.
Yeah. Well. Yeah, 10 times.
Beer's usually like 3.5, right? 4.5?
Yeah. 4.5 usually.
Yeah, maybe seltzer is 3.5.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah.
I'm so fucked up for that.
Yeah, man, it's not that strong. I don't know.
All right.
We should probably take another shot.
Yeah, we should probably take another shot, man.
Yeah, let's yeah, I mean, nothing really much to talk about the Super Bowl. You listened to it.
I listened to it. That was like the exciting thing I did. I listened to the didn't listen to Jim. Didn't listen to Jim Nance and Tony Romo. Didn't listen to that. I listened to Kevin Harlan and Kurt Warner, who just sounds like a normal guy to me. Kevin Harlan has like a very like recognizable.
Distinct,
and he's also, it's very funny the way that he played both sides. He would basically use the same inflection and stuff. And it's like, and it's a touchdown by the 49ers.
Yeah.
And then he'd be like, and the kick is good by the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, he had no bias.
Yeah, it was like, he plays a really good unbiased football analyst.
Good.
Can't say the same about basketball, but
yeah.
But yeah, it was also odd because they would play a Kurt Warner commercial, and then it would come back and Kurt Warner would be introducing himself. Like, is Kurt Warner here talking to you about?
I'm actually here now.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, and we got Kevin Harlan, and yeah, it was just very odd.
That's funny.
But yeah, and I was about probably 30 seconds behind everybody else, or like maybe even a minute, because it would just lag and it would show the play on the screen of like, it would be like a game cast, like showing like what just happened, but then then the radio broadcast would catch up to it, and then it was like, oh, so I already know what's gonna happen.
Right.
So it was just, I don't know. It was very much, you could tell that they knew they were on the radio because they just didn't care as much.
Yeah.
Which is nice. I think that's a little bit more casual.
Yeah.
And they definitely try to fill the silence as much as possible because they didn't have a lot of stadium sounds playing through. And they played like a minute of Usher's set and then moved on to an interview with Jim Harbaugh.
What the fuck?
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah. It was like, and now an interview with Jim Harbaugh, the new LA Chargers coach.
I wonder if that was like a copyright thing or something.
Don't know, but they were like, here's some Usher.
That's weird.
And after his first song, we're going to move over. And I didn't hear Alicia Keys or anything like that. Yeah.
Have you watched any of it since?
No, but I saw that they changed the Alicia Keys mess up on YouTube, which is odd.
I didn't notice the mess up watching live. I guess I wasn't paying enough attention. Yeah, I don't think I was that. I get very distracted easily. And I was on my phone and I was like, oh, I guess I should watch this.
Yeah.
So I might have missed some of it. So you kind of watched it.
Not really.
But mostly listened to. You listened to the whole game?
Yeah, I listened to the whole game. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
except for like the last 30 seconds or the last actually most of OT because I had to walk out of the IB room because they were cleaning. And then I had to walk into a different IB room and the Bluetooth wasn't working. And I'm like, I can't hear it over the hoods.
Okay, so you didn't even hear how it finished.
No, I didn't.
You still don't even know.
Nope. It's still going on actually in my head.
Yeah, I get it, man. I thought it was an amazing game. It was a really great game. The first half, I would say, at least especially the first quarter.
Listening to it was boring.
Yeah, it was like we were talking earlier, and I was like, I thought it was gonna be a really fucking boring game. I was like, oh man, this is gonna be a sucky
Nothing
game.
will. I don't think anything will compare. There have been some grind fest like football games I've watched, but
Yeah.
the Super Bowl should be like one that's like shootout, gunning, gunning it out.
And it eventually got there. Yeah,
but
it just took. I think there was a lot of nerves with those guys, and even though they were like Brock Putty is gonna be so nervous, he wasn't that nervous. I think it was just everybody else. Like there were so many false start, like on both sides that kept happening, especially on the 49ers side.
Holding.
So I think it was just a lot of nerves with those guys and a lot of stupid mistakes that you're like, you guys don't do this normally.
Yeah.
You
guys won like
this.
15 games or whatever.
Yeah. But even though I'm a Chiefs fan and super stoked they won, the 49ers defense was insane.
You know what? I also I don't remember who. It was Joe Buck. Joe Buck was talking on a podcast about how it's like not a very well-known thing that St. Louis has kind of adopted Kansas City's football team.
It's just because that not a ton of people have. Like, I know more people who hate the Chiefs than like the Chiefs.
I know more people who like have totally like adopted the Chiefs. Like
that's
everything.
how I am. I'm just like,
I know
I'm
way
like,
more
we
people.
don't have a
yeah.
football team.
This is the
Kansas
closest
City
one.
is in Missouri. They're also just so happen to be a winning team. Can't
and
we
it's
just
not like
have a winning team in Missouri?
And it's not like I'm gonna cheer for the Bears.
Yeah, it's like, who else am I gonna cheer for?
Right, Cleveland,
The Chiefs are in
Cleveland or
Missouri.
Detroit, I guess.
Yeah, and it's like, I don't want to be that guy.
Yeah.
But like, I adopted the Chiefs before their like the first Super Bowl win.
Right.
Because I was just like, yeah, that's just the team
The closest
I'll take.
one, right?
And it's just like awesome that they just happen to be a fucking amazing
Yeah.
team. And I think that's what pisses people off. They don't like when they don't like to see us win.
Yeah, I think. Well, I was talking to one of my professors who is one of my former professors. She's not my professor now, but in undergrad she was, and she's been a Detroit Lions fan even during the 0-16 season that they had. The Lions have been good the last this past year, but they were better last year too, or they were getting better last year, and now they were good this year. And she was talking about how much she hates fair weather fans like that, that like glom onto a team, not even bandwagon, but just like only be there when they're good and not be there when they're bad.
Yeah, I don't like that either.
But I was like, the Chiefs, I think St. Louis kind of has to adopt them as a team because it's like I think we're constantly searching we're literally like lost puppies whenever it comes down to football teams. Because I mean, to be honest with you, the NFL kind of fucked us because they were also the ones that voted to allow the Rams to move to LA. Right. And I've seen a couple people be like, "Fuck you" if you like chose the Chiefs as your team. But it's like, and you're from St. Louis.
I'm not gonna keep the Rams. That was like, they fucked us over.
Yeah.
So obviously I'm gonna go to whoever's in Missouri,
right?
The state we live in,
right?
That counts as our team, in my opinion.
So
Kansas ain't rooting for them.
Exactly.
But yeah, it was an amazing game. The commercials, nothing really caught my eye besides the Michael Cera CeraVe commercial directed by friend of the show Tim Heidecker. And Eric Wareheim, who's not a friend of the show.
Did you see?
Because we don't know.
I saw that commercial. That was running. They were running ads on Twitter for it, and they're like Michael Cera did not create CeraVe, and I'm like, I don't know what the hell you're talking
joke.
about. I was like, I know. I mean, it was an ad that was running, and I was like, I didn't even know that was even a thing.
Yeah.
That's the case with most ads that they try to make things happen.
Yeah. But it was really good, and I think a lot of people are like, I saw some like popular ad Instagram company that voted it like the best commercial.
Do you remember in middle school
which I think it was too?
Do you remember in middle school when they asked us at lunch like what the best Super Bowl commercial was?
Probably.
I just flashed back to that.
And it's probably like the puppy monkey baby.
Yeah.
Or the Doritos
Yeah,
one.
the Doritos one.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like,
whoa, watch out.
I legit, even though, obviously friend of the show, Tim Heidecker directed it.
Yeah, friend of the show.
Just have to put that out there.
Right, yeah.
We know somebody who directed a Super Bowl commercial. I legit thought it was funny and legit liked it, and because it's Michael Cera.
I gotta watch the whole series and
it's good. You should watch. Yeah, you should
watch the whole commercial now.
Gotta watch the whole series. You should watch it because it's actually funny. Unlike the rest of the commercials where I was just like, "Yep, just give us more celebrities."
Did they have an emotional Budweiser commercial like they do every year? That was kind of like their thing for a while.
Not that I remember.
Do you remember that though? They would always have like some fucking horrible, like emotional.
Plenty of other emotional commercials that I completely ignored.
Yeah.
There was one that Spencer and I were talking about this morning about it was like a Jesus commercial.
Oh, yeah.
Lot of Jesus commercials.
Oh yeah, he gets us.
Where it was just showing pictures of like people washing each other's feet.
Yeah.
And it was like a cop washing a protestor's feet.
Yeah,
and
on like a milk crate.
Yeah, and like what is presumed to be a Palestinian person washing an Israeli's feet. But it was about Jesus. And it was really weird and uncomfortable. But then I told Spencer, I was like, well, I did go on a youth trip with my church years and years ago.
And they said the same thing.
Where we washed each other's feet. We had a whole ceremony where we washed each other's feet.
Humbling experience, isn't it?
You know what? At the time it was because I cried. We did it 2 different years and I cried both times for some reason. I don't know what was. I think I was honestly what I think it was, and I'm not just trying to be that guy and say that and like trying to make excuses.
You felt
for
God
it.
in you.
No, I think it was a little
God
thing
was
called sleep deprivation because it was like 5 or 6 days into like a trip where I was sleeping on like an air mattress and maybe getting 4 hours to 3 hours of sleep every night. And then having to get up super early. And this was like probably 10 o'clock at night after being up for like 12 plus hours.
Yeah.
So I could have cried at about anything at that point. Again, not to take anything away from that experience, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I think I just was very tired and cried. Yeah, I just full on cried.
Sobbing?
While I was getting my feet washed. Because they were also playing sad music, and like sad music triggers me to cry a lot. Not so much anymore, but it used to be like a huge trigger for me. Like that Josh Groban song in the Polar Express. Believe us, breathe us.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that.
That would make me cry. That was like I would have to like turn the radio off if that song came on. So I think it was just that. But anyways, yeah, we used to wash each other's feet.
That's good, man.
And now I have to pay to do it.
It's crazy.
Now I have to pay to wash yours, which is crazy because it's just like, you're my friend. I thought we were cool like that. Halftime show with Usher. I didn't really care. I just felt like it was just, it's every year. It's just so targeted towards millennials.
Yeah, that was, I saw a couple of tweets. They're like, man, it's so nice being the targeted
Right.
Like ad demographic.
It's like, wow, I know who they were going for.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's like, just get someone relevant, please. Like the most relevant person in recent memory.
I mean, last year was Rihanna.
Rihanna, yes.
Yes, but she hadn't released an album. Yeah.
It's on the border. I would say the most recent relevant person was The Weeknd.
Yeah.
Before that, I mean, Katy Perry, when that happened, was relevant. But like since then, it's just like fucking hell, man.
I mean, they did have The Who.
Usher.
Do you remember that?
I don't remember that.
That was like 2008 or 9 or 10.
Oh man.
They had The Who, and they didn't even have like the full Who. It was like, I mean, their drummer wasn't around. Like, I think he was dead.
Dead, very dead. Like there's dead, and then there's really dead.
But it was Ringo Starr's son. Who was a drummer.
Yes, yeah, he is the drummer.
Yeah, so that was like they're the Black Eyed Peas. You know them. You know them.
Yeah, you're right. I do know them. I have been to Chicago. That's not where they're from. I just felt like saying that. Spencer reminded me this morning that Maroon 5 did one.
Oh yeah,
and
I forgot
it's like
about that.
Most notable, like terrible.
Yeah.
Halftime show. Like,
they had Justin Timberlake that year. The Eagles won.
Is that the one where the Janet Jackson boob incident happened, or was that was early 2000s?
That was early 2000s. But this is the one with the selfie kid.
Selfie kid. God, I don't know.
They took a selfie in the middle of the halftime show.
Oh,
He got up in the stands. I remember he was wearing some Michael Jordan 4's free throw line.
Oh, okay. Yes, I do remember that now.
Of course you remember that, dude. That's fucking sneakerhead over here.
Got it. I just remember Katy Perry because of the left shark.
Left shark. That was 2016.
That was during the Vine era.
2016 was the best year ever.
Yeah, it was just like...
Boy, 2016.
I thought it was fine. I thought it was cool that Ludacris came out. That was the coolest part to me.
Then they fucked on stage.
I thought the fucking roller skates was so goddamn corny.
I need to watch this.
I was like, why are they on roller skates? I did find it cool. His outfit was all designed by Off-White. Obviously not by Virgil.
Unbelievable.
Rest in peace. But it was cool. It was like a cool design team that put it together.
Yeah.
It didn't like stand out to me at all, but like once I found that
Ludacris?
out, I was like, no. Ushers.
Oh, sure.
I think everybody's were though, because they all matched pretty well. But I know Usher specifically was designed by Off-White, so I thought that was cool. But otherwise, I was just like, I'm not 35 years old. I don't care about this at all. I don't have like fond memories of Usher.
What?
I have memories of listening to Usher, but not fond ones. If it was like Jason Derulo,
Right.
I might have been like, that's my boy.
Deludo.
Delubo.
Ladudo.
That was my guy back in the day.
Right.
I made an iron-on shirt
Fuck
with
yeah,
Jason
you did.
Derulo on it.
Fuck yeah, you did.
I wore it one time.
And then there was also a shooting at the fucking Super Bowl parade today.
I was like, if we're gonna bring up the Super Bowl, we should at least bring that up. As of recording right now, and obviously we'll have
I think
the
there was
full
15.
information by the time this show comes out. But yeah, 15 injured.
Yeah.
And it sounds like one casualty as of right now. And it seems that it was not a terrorist incident. It wasn't like a threatened thing. From what I've heard, and again, it won't even matter what I'm saying right now because by the time this comes out, we'll know for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
But it sounds like it was
Too serious.
altercation
Yeah.
gone wrong.
Yeah.
Which is still fucking stupid and horrible that happened.
Right.
But
It was a lot of
it wasn't what everybody and myself included supposed it was. It
No,
sounded
I
like
think-
it was
I think it was just
isolated incident that
Yeah.
went terrible and was dealt with very quickly.
And there's a
thankfully.
video surfacing of
There's a
the
lot of
fans tackling one of the supposed shooters.
Yeah, supposed I think is a good point to make. There's a lot of
Uh,
supposed things going
yeah.
around of people getting arrested, and there was one. This
I
made
think
me
plenty of people
so-
always get arrested at these things, but
Exactly. There was one tweet that made me so fucking angry. It was of like 3 people being arrested at who knows at what point they were
right.
being
This could have been in
arrested.
the very beginning of the parade.
And they were like, here's 3 suspects being arrested. This is what the media won't show you. I'm like, the media won't show it to you because they don't want to show something if it's not fucking confirmed.
Right.
You're an idiot.
Right.
They won't show it to you because that's probably just some random fucking people being
That's
arrested.
That's a guy who's caught pissing in a bush, bro.
Right, you're an idiot. But they're like, they make it this whole fucking thing about race or some shit.
Yeah.
Where they're like, well, they're black people, so like the media won't show it because they don't want to come off as racist or some shit. Like
Yeah.
that's literally the narrative
Oh,
on
yeah.
Twitter, which is a absolute hellhole to get any sort of news information.
No, yeah, still is.
But they just
Always
say the
will be now.
dumbest fucking shit. And I'm like, no, they're not talking about it because they don't know. Because if they said something and it came out that they're wrong, you would be the same people that'd be like, fake news. Look at what they're putting out. They
See,
named
look,
the
they're
right person.
trying to peddle this lie.
Right.
That,
It's just such a fucking dumb place out there. People are so stupid, dude. But anyways, obviously our hearts go out to
Yeah.
what happened there. Absolutely terrible, and hopefully no more casualties come out from this. And maybe there have been, and that's horrible. And obviously advocate for gun control every time, even though if it was just simple handguns
Oh,
or
yeah.
whatever.
No,
that's
it's a little bit
still-
bigger than
that.
that.
Still applies because background checks. You shouldn't be giving
Right.
letting crazy people get
100%.
weapons.
There was a shooting at
same
Joel
old shit.
Osteen's church.
Yeah,
too.
at that fucking weirdo's church.
Yeah.
That was like a whole nother thing. I don't even want to get into that, but it's just par for the course for living in America. We're
Yeah.
used to it. It's just like whatever.
Another day in America.
Yep. Literally, that's what
literally,
it is.
that's all it is.
I was like, I don't even know if we're gonna talk about it because
Yeah.
it's just like,
Cool.
we'll have one tomorrow again.
Right.
So, it's just another day. Who gives a fuck? Obviously, getting sock lint all over my white.
Unbelievable,
pants.
dude. So moving on to
I know.
already, it feels like
Yeah.
we've talked forever.
Maybe
but
we'll just skip the Elmo clip.
Yeah,
It's
for
kind of
sure.
old
Yeah,
news.
it's old news.
If you guys have seen it, I'm
Yeah.
sure. But yeah, let's talk about these baseball jerseys. I wanna know
So
about
this
them.
is a tweet coming from straight from a baseball fan.
Straight up.
Straight up. So holy shit, man! The new Fanatics jerseys look absolutely horrific. This has got to be fixed by opening day. And so on the left here is last year's Majestic, I believe.
Okay, I know that. brand.
I think it's Majestic. Their brand.
Probably.
Their brand of baseball jerseys that I think the MLB has been like
Using for a long
using for a
time.
while.
I've seen Majestic tags on jerseys for a long ass
Yeah.
time.
And then this is the new format
Okay.
of the jerseys.
First of all, is it like cut? at the center or something? You see that?
No,
below
yeah,
the
I do
numbers?
see that. Yeah, but that
That's
just
weird.
might just be like an image thing. But it looks like it's on the jersey though. I don't know what that is, but it's not. I don't know. Anyway, so you can, I guess, we'll just put a screenshot
Yeah,
up.
I'll put these pictures up.
You can see that the MLB logo has moved from the neckline down to below the neckline, and the last name. I'm like, not gonna lie, I'm like inebriated from this now.
I get it. I'm a little
The
weird.
names are way more curved and also way smaller.
Very small. You know, what?
Way
It looks
smaller.
like a basketball jersey.
Not even like a basketball jersey. It looks like
Because basketball jerseys are that small. The names are.
some of them are. They adjust like the size on them though.
Yeah, true, true.
But like this is the name Kirby on the, I don't know. But like Miles Michaels' jersey looks really bad. This looks
look bad.
really bad. The players really like
close.
it. Yeah.
Too close together.
Yeah, it's
The
like
players
just
like it. I heard that they thought it sucked.
well, okay, let me put it this way. The players who were paid to tell people it was good thought it was good.
Yeah.
Jason Hayward said it was good, but he's got a thing with Nike. The players wore these jerseys during the All-Star game, so that's where they also got like a kind of a flavor of what it is. The players do not like the way it looks. They like the way it feels.
I thought I saw somewhere that Michael has said that he hated the way it felt cheap.
Yeah. There's that
players
too.
Have saying that it feels
Some
cheap.
players have said it's cheap. Some people have said that they like how like breathable it is because
It definitely looks thinner.
Yeah, it definitely looks thinner. This no joke. Whenever I heard, and I'm pretty sure I could probably find a text message or at least that verifies this for me, but I knew as soon as Fanatics signed a jersey deal with the MLB, that shit would go fucking terrible.
Oh,
I
yeah?
knew it as soon as that happened.
And why is that?
Because Fanatics has always had shitty quality. This is what I would expect from Fanatics. There's nothing I would expect more of out of Fanatics.
I guess I don't know
Anytime I
anything
hear
about that.
anybody talk about Fanatics, I hear about how cheap their shit is, how expensive it was to buy it, but how cheap feeling that is. And I think someone took a picture of like, what is it? Like the Dodgers, right? The Dodgers jersey. There's one with Shohei, and it's like so small. It's so small. You would never be able to see that. And then also, the old jerseys used to like gracefully, like make the logos kind of fall in between these two pieces of fabric.
Yeah.
Like the Dodgers O and the D would be separated by the fabric in DOD. And so it would look better. You know, it just looks like that. But the Dodgers they cut off in the middle of the D of the second D. So it's like DOD, DOD, like it's just DODDGERS.
That sucks.
It's like, why do you even bother putting like this slit of a D
right
on this other fabric? It's just like, I would not expect anything different. I would imagine that Nike ends up not pulling them from shelves, but at least rolling out maybe like a better version of like fan ones. Like for a fan one, in all honesty, as a fan, That's fine. Go ahead. But for players, you got to make that shit look really fucking good. And that looks like shit.
Yeah, the breathability thing, I can understand if that is true, because they do look a lot thinner, which also makes me immediately think cheaper. Not always the case.
Yeah.
Obviously, the majestic ones look a lot better, but I can also see how that's thicker. Those letters are probably definitely thicker.
Yeah, those letters look like probably like.
And it's a heavier jersey for sure.
Yeah.
You can just tell by the way it's hanging on there. But they look a shit ton better. These new ones are very like. Yeah, they just look cheap. I mean, they honestly look like I could see myself getting one as a giveaway.
Yeah.
Walking into the stadium. So, very funny. Yeah.
So they're Fanatics jerseys, but Nike licensing.
So not made by Nike.
They're made by Fanatics.
Right, but Nike has like their logo on.
Yeah.
Oof.
Yeah.
That's gotta suck for Nike.
Yeah, everybody's probably.
People would be like, "Oh, Nike jersey."
Yeah.
But it's not.
No.
Some
I had to find
shitty company called Fanatics.
Let me look up. I'm gonna look up a jersey.
Yeah, I want to see the front. I want to see the front of the Dodgers one.
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
Oh,
like
God,
what are you doing? Before it was just like the line
right
would be there, and then I think that's the way they look.
Okay.
Not as wide as wedding gown wide as before. Perforated smaller numbers. Dodgers jersey script breaks awkwardly through the D instead of the O and the D. Smaller letters for players' names.
It's
And
just weird.
Oh, and
What
this
is that?
This is the leaked Philly jersey.
Ugh.
They always make,
Fuck. That's like their city jersey?
yeah, because it's supposed to look like they're
Yeah, but you're right. Even the letters don't even look right on that, but maybe it's just because I'm paying more attention to it.
yeah, this is like what it's supposed to look like. It's like the Philadelphia flag.
Ugh. Yeah, but it has Nike's thing on there.
Yeah, I'm trying to find, and then there's like, hold on.
Ugh, that's bad news, man.
And then the Cardinals jersey, they kind of still went with like the knitting on the front here. You can see they
Okay.
kind of with like a knit
Yeah.
look. So it's like for players' jerseys, it still look like will look good.
What's that jersey?
Cardinals City Connect jersey leaked there.
Okay.
But hold on, let me see if there's any other. Okay,
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
all right, never mind.
It's fine.
But yeah, like that, like it just doesn't compare.
Yeah,
I mean,
no, it
literally,
doesn't.
it really does not. I mean, that looks really
That's
bad.
That's bad.
Like
That's really bad.
Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
yeah.
What a
So
mess.
that's as a baseball fan, you know, I hope that they fix these later in the season, at least for the players.
Yeah, they probably
But
won't.
they probably won't.
Maybe by next season we'll see, or we'll get used to it. I guess.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on though, we're skipping the clips of the week. Shout out Larry David. Shout out Elmo. Old news by now, but go watch those clips if you haven't. Let's move into our Nextdoor Drama segment this week. Gavin, if you wouldn't mind hitting the camera when you get a second.
Yes.
In case you don't know, Nextdoor is a blog posting app website for your neighborhood. And we go on there every single week and we take a blog entry in the comments. We script it out. We do a dramatic reenactment of it as if it was happening IRL in person, but it's really an online debate usually or online discussion on a blog. So this week's Nextdoor Drama
It's Nextdoor
titled
Week Drama.
Druggy Crack Meth Head, which is a direct quote from this story. I will be playing Daniel. Gavin will be playing Tony. And we are both overly concerned citizens. For the same reason? Maybe? Gavin, do you have the bleep sound in your... Actually, wait. Do you read that or do I read that? Hold on. Okay, never mind. You don't need it. I need it. I got it. Because you're the one who's reading it. Let me make sure I have that. So there's a part... Your first line, or your first line says a full name.
Uh-huh.
Don't say any of it. Just say the first his name is, and then
Okay.
let me do the bleep.
Yes.
But don't read the name because we're not trying to dox this person. Because this person very openly doxes somebody. I'll just be honest. Okay, let me make sure I have my bleep that I cannot find for whatever reason. Is it in my third bar? Yeah, maybe you just need to play it because I don't see mine.
Sounds good.
Here it is. Okay, let me turn that up a little bit anyways. Okay, without saying much else, I'm going to play the Nextdoor Drama intro song. We'll get right into it, cowboys. This week on Nextdoor Drama. Suspicious man, 50 plus. Neighbor had an odd encounter with the man below. Rang the doorbell asking if he was law enforcement. Had a knife in his waistband. St. Charles County PD stopped by and is increasing patrol tonight.
His name is... He goes by Danny N. He's from Harvest Acres, where his mom and dad live. He's not a good person and has a bad history of being a druggy crack meth head. Beware!
Great. Thanks for sharing.
He told me Monday he got a job at a local... He told me Monday he got a job at a local fast food joint.
Cops were there the day it happened. He was back in the neighborhood this morning. Scared the daylights out of our neighbor.
Curious, how was your neighbor? Curious, how was your neighbor able to see a knife in his waistband if his jacket was zipped and well below the waistband?
Seriously? This is your comment on a post like this? Especially after all the other comments about this guy. But seriously, it literally looks like a knife holster in the picture. Let's not defend the criminals.
Seriously? Simmer down. I don't defend criminals, and I certainly don't think anyone on this site does either. Do you think maybe I just did not see what was in the right pocket? But thanks to Melinda, she explained it to me.
He sounds like he's own worst enemy with his addiction.
Welcome to the bar where we drink the Malort every night, okay? We are going to be drinking all of the Malort and partying all night, okay? Thank you. Good night.
All right.
Yeah,
Glad that person just openly doxed this man who
Yeah.
definitely has some serious
problems.
issues.
Yeah. I think,
So- If you're watching, I will show the picture. It doesn't show him at all. It just shows the back
yeah,
of him. So I will
yeah.
show it.
it's actually just
if
his
he's-
mugshot.
Yeah. It's literally from the back end, but you can see that there's maybe a knife back here.
That was maybe the bike seat. No, yeah, okay, never mind.
If they say it's a knife, I guess. I don't know. There's no other. I don't think the other picture was of his face, which I obviously
That's
won't show.
crazy. That's actually crazy.
And they're like, his name is this. He lives here with his parents. It's like, bro, we don't have to do all that. That was a clip of him.
Yep.
Yeah. Anyways, fun little Nextdoor drama there. Moving on though, our other segment, final segment of the day of this long
Final
show
segment.
that shouldn't have been as long as it was, but here we are. Is called Whatcha Listening To, where Gavin and I recommend a song, album, or artist that we've been listening to in the past week to each other, to the audience.
Why is it so
Gavin, what are you listening to, buddy? Did you get a new iPhone or a new case?
New case.
Okay.
Well, not a new case. I just switched my case. This week I'm listening to People Who Aren't There Anymore by Future Islands. I've listened to them a lot recently. Their first two songs are both singles. Obviously, the first song it was shocking to see that this was the first song on the album, because this was a single that they released a few months ago, if not more, almost longer than a year ago at this point. But it's King of Sweden. They also have a really good song called The Tower. They also have Say Goodbye, The Thief, Peach, and
Everlong.
yeah, but yeah, it's an album that came out on January 25th. So I've been trying to, usually in my opinion, Future Islands albums are kind of slow burns for me. The first listen to, I was like, okay. Oh, the first half of the album moved me, but the second half I was like, meh. But after sitting through it a little bit more and dealing with my thoughts, I figured, I was like, this is a good album to recommend. I definitely enjoy it. The production is really well done on it, and I enjoy it a lot.
Hell yeah, dude. I actually have a kind of an exciting thing that I'm listening to this week, because it's of an older band that kind of went away for a long time. The band Dead Z, not very well known. Most notably, the singer Elijah Blue Allman is the son of Greg Allman and Cher.
Allman Brother?
Allman Brother. And if you would have heard Dead Z's music, you would be like, what? Because it's like very weird, kind of goth, synthwave metal is the way I would describe it. I kind of just got into them by accident, but I was just like, usually I would hear a voice like his and be like, I hate it. But it works so well for whatever reason, and I love this band. I got into them a couple years ago, and then I've just loved them ever since, but they weren't releasing music. And around the time I got into them, of course, I go to their Facebook page, because that's the only thing you can find of them, where they were talking about starting to make music again. And I was like, okay, fuck yeah.
Can't wait.
Years go by. This is like 2018 whenever I found that out. Nothing till finally last Thursday, I believe it was, for the first time since 2006.
Wow. Yeah, what is it with you finding these bands? I'm not going to lie.
I don't know, man. What is it with them like releasing music like
At the
again
same
for the
time.
first
Yeah.
time in the years? They released the first song since 2006 called Study for a Portrait of Napoleon in Rags. Now, I was a little disappointed because I expected a full band Dead Z's song.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, I don't know for sure. I haven't read much up on it about it, but it seems to be just Elijah doing this song himself. It's an acoustic song with really good production on it, but like that's it.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like it makes sense as a it makes sense as like an extra Dead Z song on like an album. Like it's not like it doesn't feel like a single that you would release for the first time since 2006.
In 18 years.
Yeah. So I was a little disappointed in that, but honestly, it's a really good song still. It's just not what I really wanted. I wanted something that would like blow my balls off.
Right.
But it's just like a very slow like ballad.
Right.
It's 5 minutes. It's almost 6 minutes long.
Wow. Okay.
And it's just this beautiful acoustic ballad. Sounds like how he sounds. Got some cool like guitar sounds in it. Some layering. It's a good song. It's just a slower song. Nothing that you would, I was expecting to hear, but I hope this means that they're back. I love their music. Their gimmick is really funny and kind of weird. They like, wear weird masks and stuff. And they just like, I don't know. It's just very like corny, but in a fun, like in a good way.
Yeah. Like Slipknot.
Yeah. Slipknot, I don't think is corny to me, but yeah. Like a gimmick for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's exciting. Dead Z, hopefully they're back. Cool that there's a new song out. And cool that it still sounds like what they sounded like.
Yeah.
But different in a good way. Yeah, same singer. I don't know.
Who's
I don't
in,
know.
who's
I don't even
out.
know if there's even anybody, if it's just him. But yeah, that's what I'm listening to.
I also didn't do this album justice. This was definitely the story that it's kind of telling is that he misses living in Sweden. He like fell in love with a girl there, but she like didn't want to move to America with him.
Oh,
Yeah,
I wonder if
so-
he knows about Carl Jepsen.
I bet he does. But yeah,
Swedish.
that's why the whole album is basically about his time in Sweden.
Nice.
Yeah, it's really good.
Well,
Well,
I think we can finally wrap.
we can
this
finally
up.
rest.
Ugh. It
Well,
was a
everybody,
fun one though.
thanks for listening to It Takes All Kinds podcast. Keep watching, keep listening, keep leaving comments, keep doing everything you do normally do. We'll be here listening to you and your feedback. Carson.
Yeah, man. Really fun time this week spending Valentine's Day the only way I can think of.
With the boy.
With the boy. Fun time. A lot of fun stories on this one, I think. I really enjoyed it. Glad we got to try Malort. Slightly disappointed in it not being as disgusting. That seems to be the theme with all of these taste tests. Is like, I never get something that really blows my nuts right off. That's just like the weirdest fucking thing ever.
I don't know. Those chocolate bars you got me for my birthday were really fucking bad, man.
Yeah, they were just bad. But they weren't even like. Maybe that's the thing is like I gotta be like this is gonna be really good, and then it turns out that it's horrible. Unlike this, where I was like nervous as fuck, and then I was like, okay. But anyways, we'll see you guys next week with your usual weekly program.
Thought about killing